Hello students. Today in this video, I'll continue chapter number 11, Force and Pressure. So I just want to recap what we discussed in last videos. I had started with the chapter Force, the definition of force, that is simple definition is a push or a pull is known as force. After that, we discussed the effects of force. And one thing more we have discussed that the what are the resultants if force is applied in same direction, and what happens if the force is applied in opposite direction. After that, we discussed the types of forces, that is contact and non-contact forces. And under the heading of contact forces, we discussed muscular forces and frictional force. And after that, in the heading of in contact forces, we had discussed electrostatic force, magnetic force, and gravitational force with the help of examples. So here overs the concept of force. Next comes the word pressure. Children, first of all, you should know what pressure means. So pressure is the force acting on unit area of a surface. So mathematically we can express that pressure is equal to force upon area. So as the definition is saying, force acting on unit area of a surface. Now here you can see that force and pressure. Force is in the numerator and area is in the denominator. So from this formula, we can get that pressure and force both are directly proportional to each other. Both are on the numerator. So these both are directly proportional to each other. Let me tell you that what do you mean by directly proportionality? Direct proportionality means if pressure is varying, the force will also vary, or vice versa. If the force acting on an object increases, so pressure also increases. So this is the mean of that force and pressure are directly proportional to each other. And on the other hand, area is in the denominator. So area is inversely proportional to pressure. So what is the relationship between the pressure and area? They both are inversely proportional to each other. It means that if area of a surface increases, the pressure decreases. And vice versa, means if the area of a surface decreases, then the pressure is increases, and if area is increases, pressure decreases. Means if one will increase, other will decrease. So they pressure and area both are inversely proportional to each other. And as we have discussed, and force and pressure are directly proportional to each other. They both vary directly. Means if one is increasing, other is also increasing. If one is decreasing, other is also decreasing. So I think it's very, very clear for this from this formula. And we'll discuss many of the examples. From these examples, the concept will become more clear to you. So here it is written that if the area is smaller, the pressure is more on the surface of a for the same force. So let's discuss, children. Here we are we can take many of the examples from our daily life. Let's take one example. It is easier to push a nail into a wooden plank by its pointed end than its head because the pressure is more. So you must have seen, see in this figure, this is a nail. So we used to push a nail from its pointed end. Can you tell me why it is so? Pointed end means if the end is pointed, so it has less area. Pointed end has less area and it is pushed into a plank by applying the pressure. More pressure will be there if the less area is there. As we have seen that area, if it will be less, then it will exert more pressure. Let's take one more example. It is easier to cut vegetables with a sharp knife as compared to the blunt knife because of the pressure is more. You know, if the knife will be sharp, so the area will be less. So if area is less, the pressure will be more. So that's why it's easy to cut the fruits and vegetables with the help of a sharp knife. One more example has been taken that the shoulder bags, the bags you carry have broader strips. The bags we carry on the shoulder has a broader strips and not thin straps to reduce the pressure on the shoulder. So there is a reason behind it why the bags, shoulder bags have the broader straps. Here you can see that the broader straps are there even with your bags because you have to carry much of the load of the books. So you have the bags having the broader strap. So broader strap means more area and less pressure will be exerted on the shoulders. So children, in this way, so many examples are there. With the help of this concept of pressure, force and area, you can easily understand why the what happens if the area is less and the pressure increases. Let's take one more example. You must have seen the trucks because trucks has to carry heavy loads. So you have seen the back tires of the truck, they are double tire are there. Even of buses, the back tires are doubled. Why it is so? Because if the double tire will there, that will increase the area, and if the area will increase, then less pressure will be exerted on the road. So it becomes easy for the buses and trucks to move on the road. Even you have seen the tractor. The back tires of the tractors are quite big and broader. The same reason can be followed in that. Even the caterpillar tracks you have seen, same reason will be followed for that. To increase the area, the caterpillar track is followed and the less pressure is exerted on the road or on the surface where they are moving. So one thing more we can say that if we take the example of a camel, camel has broader feet. So broader feet means larger area and less pressure will be exerted on the sand. So children, I hope the concept, so many examples are there. Even you have seen coolie. Coolie before picking up the load on his head, he just put a cloth. Why he put a cloth on his head? Because to increase the area. That cloth, rounded cloth, increases the area and less pressure is exerted on the head of a coolie because he has to carry a heavy load. So this is the concept of pressure and area. So I hope the concept is clear. Here we are using only one formula. Pressure and force varies directly. And on the other hand, pressure and area, they vary indirectly. So children, there are many of the examples. I hope the concept is clear. You go through many of the examples and the same will be followed. Thank you so much.